Hey everybody, Josh for Populi here, and should you be using email templates? Probably, especially if you send the same emails over and over, repetitively, in a cycle, one after the other, over and over. For instance, if you're in admissions and you want to email leads who haven't finished filling out their applications, just a little nudge, an email template will make that painless. You could have a template for emails that go out to thank your donors or to remind students to register for next term's classes. Even if the email will change slightly from year to year or semester to semester, having a template to work from is a time saver. The possibilities are plentiful. Anyone with a staff role can create templates and use them, but you can also control visibility by role on specific templates. Under Communications, Templates, Email Templates, you'll add an email template. We're going to create an example here to demonstrate what's generally possible as you build your own emails. In our hypothetical example here, our school is particularly hard-nosed and requires a zero balance at the end of every semester, or students don't get their grades. So this is an email template that goes out at the end of the term with some details about the policy and a link to go make a payment. We'll fill in a name. This is just an internal name for your use. It's not the subject of the email. So we'll call it End of Term Policy Reminder. Okay, be careful here. Anyone you want to CC or BCC, those addresses can be entered here. But don't forget that if you're creating an email that's likely to go out to a large list of recipients, there's potential to completely overwhelm a recipient's mailbox. Emails that go out to one or two recipients at a time are probably safe. Emails that go out to dozens or hundreds of folks at once, probably not necessary or kind to CC anyone. On reply to, you'll enter the email address to which you'd like recipients of this email to send their responses. So, for a given email, if you have a relevant person on staff that would typically deal with questions and requests in that area, their email goes here. For the subject line, you'll probably want to identify your school and indicate the topic. For example, I'll use End of Term Populi University. There's an option to include an attachment here. If that makes sense, like if you want to have a related PDF that you want to distribute to your recipients, you just upload that little guy here. You know what kind of email you want this to be, but let's touch on some options. Variables make templates really powerful. This is how you can automatically personalize an email for each recipient in a huge list. If we click on the variable dropdown, you'll see what the options are. These are categorized by recipient variables, custom recipient variables, and then sender variables. The first two look at the recipient's Populi profile and pull information based on that. And you can see that it's primarily stuff like name and address and other contact information. The sender variables allow you to set this template up to personalize based on who sent it. So if George Bailey sends the email, it could have his name and title, and if Henry Potter sends the email, it'll have his. Also, some roles have the authority to add variables that others do not. For instance, the financial admin and student billing users have access to a final balance variable that can populate a student's balance automatically. We're going to insert a couple of variables as we create this template. You can personalize the email by including the recipient's name. So we'll type in hello, but then in order to get the name variable, we're going to leave our cursor here, go up to the variable dropdown, and choose preferred name from the list. Then, when I click insert, that variable will be added to this email. Then we'll include some language about how an existing balance at the end of the term will result in the student not receiving their grades. We also want to give the recipient here a link they can follow to just make a payment right away. And we can do that with a very special variable. the online payment URL variable. That creates a link in the email that will take each student directly to a place where they can pay. We'll add a little language about that down here and then insert the link variable. Then we'll sign off pleasantly and insert sender variables for first and last names, as well as title. And then we'll end up with something pretty nice and tidy. If that's all you need, great, you're done. But we have additional features and options. We have a WYSIWYG that lets you do basic formatting. You can italicize or bold certain bits of text. You can create a bullet list or a numbered list. You can insert a link, that kind of thing. One thing that you might find useful here, you can give emails a little extra official zip by adding an image, like your school's logo. This requires you to have the image hosted somewhere. Your school probably already has that image hosted, but if you're not sure, just find someone pale and computerly and ask them. Once you get the web address for the hosted file, you can pop it here and add it to your email. This button lets you get a look at the source code of your email and make manual adjustments if you're pale and computerly. Over here, we've got the option to preview this email and see how we're doing. Looking good. I like it. And then up here over on the right, you can use the visibility option and choose the roles to whom you'd like to limit this template. You can also categorize this template for easy locating if you like. Now what happens? Well, anywhere you can choose to email someone or a group of someones in Populi, you can select this template as an option. Just as an example, if I'm on academics on the academic term students tab, and I click on the actions button and select email students, I'll open up this email dialog. And here under the template dropdown, I can choose end of term policy reminder. And we get that whole email populated right quick. Let's just see what that email looks like when we actually send it to someone, and diggy-do. Just like that, all those variables populate. For more on email templates, check out our knowledge base article. Do you want to dig deeper and get more value out of Populi for your school? Join our Discord server. It's where Populi users can ask each other questions and capitalize on community knowledge. If you want to become a part of that community, go to Help in Populi and choose Join the User Community. That'll take you to a spot that has instructions about how you can get set up. I've been Josh for Populi. You've been great. Thanks for watching.